You're staring at an offer letter at 9:37 p.m. Salary looks great. Start date feels real. Then the attachment appears. Restrictive covenanters. You remember the headlines. Non-competes were banned, right? Wrong enough to cost you your next job, your clients, or 5 figures later. Meet Maya, a customer success manager at a health tech company. She was 29, underpaid, ambitious, and holding a competitor's better offer. Her new role paid $118,000, up from $92,000. That jump was real money. The trap was hiding in page 7. The FTC's own page says the non-compete rule is not in effect and is not enforceable after a district court stopped enforcement nationwide. The same FTC page says the agency appealed in 2024, then took steps to dismiss its Fifth Circuit appeal in 2025. So stop treating the headline like legal armor. The federal rescue plan is parked. Your state law and your signed contract matter today. Maya had skimmed the paperwork like most smart people do. Compensation first, PTO second, legal attachments last, usually after dinner and exhaustion. That order is backwards. The legal attachments decide whether your next raise becomes freedom or just a nicer cage later. Pause. Here's the first move. Before you sign anything, search the packet for 10 terms: non-compete, non-solicit, non-interference, repayment, clawback, liquidated damages, confidentiality, inventions, training, garden leave. If any of those appear, slow down. You are not being difficult. You are reading the real price tag on leaving. Economic Innovation Group reports nearly 1 in 5 U.S. workers are bound by a non-compete agreement. This is not executive-only paperwork. EIG also reports 4 states ban employment non-competes entirely, while 34 states plus D.C. restrict their use in different ways. That variation matters. A clause that collapses in California may bite in Florida. A salary threshold in one state may change the answer completely. Washington's 2026 threshold is $126,858.83 for employees and $317,147.09 for independent contractors, according to its Labor Department. Exact income can decide enforceability. Translation: don't ask. Are non-competes legal? Ask, in my state, at my income, for this role, would this restriction survive? Maya found 3 traps, not 1. 3. The non-compete got the spotlight, but the cousins were doing quieter, uglier work. Trap 1. The classic non-compete. It blocks you from working for competitors after you leave, usually for a time, geography, or market. Your question is simple. What companies, roles, territories, and time periods does this block? If they cannot answer, the clause is too foggy. Use this exact email. Can you confirm in plain English which jobs this clause would prevent me from taking after employment ends? Notice the wording. You are not accusing anyone. You are forcing the restriction out of legal fog and into operational reality where decisions happen. Flower's voice, Maya's recruiter said. It's standard. That phrase is where your brain should wake up. Standard can still be expensive fast. Standard means many people signed it without pushing. It does not mean the clause is fair, narrow, enforceable, or harmless for you. Trap 2. The non-solicit. It may not block your next job. It blocks the relationships that make you valuable when you arrive. For Maya, the offer was in enterprise accounts. Her old contract barred contacting any customer she had touched for 2 full years. That sounds narrow until your entire portfolio is customers you touched. Suddenly, your new job starts with both hands tied behind you. Ask. Does this prevent me from serving customers who independently choose to work with my new employer or only active poaching? That difference matters. Serving a client who shows up is not the same career risk as rating a book of business. Trap 3. Confidentiality overreach. Real trade secrets deserve protection. But some clauses define confidential information as almost everything you learned at work. Maya's agreement covered strategies, processes, customer needs, pricing, training materials, and other business knowledge. That last phrase swallowed the room whole. If a clause makes your general experience radioactive, push back. You cannot unlearn how to manage accounts, run meetings, or forecast revenue. Ask for a carve-out. This does not restrict my use of general skills, experience, and knowledge gained during employment. The CFPB warned employees may be rushed into signing agreements that hide the details of debt workers are accepting up front. The CFPB also reported nearly 10% of American workers surveyed in 2020 were covered by a training repayment agreement. Trap 4 is the training repayment agreement. It says the company trained you, and if you leave early, you owe money back. Maya's clause demanded $14,000 if she left within 18 months. The training was mostly internal webinars and shadowing senior reps on calls. That is not a development benefit. It may be an exit toll. Consider the repayment clause part of compensation math. Ask 4 questions: exact dollar amount, prorated schedule, triggering events, and whether termination without cause waives repayment before you sign anything. If they say repayment is rare, ask them to write that exception. Friendly verbal promises vanish when legal sends the invoice. Sharp inhale. Maya almost signed anyway. The recruiter wanted an answer by noon. Urgency is how bad clauses sneak past good judgment. Deadlines are negotiable. Say, I am excited and I need 2 business days to review the restrictive covenanters carefully. Strong candidates do not lose offers because they read contracts, and if they do, that tells you something useful very early. Maya took one night and built a red line list, not a legal memo. A simple table with clause, risk, ask. Do the same. Column 1, clause name. Column 2, what it blocks. Column 3, the narrower version you want. For non-competes, your narrower version may be no restriction or only a short restriction tied to named clients or confidential projects. For non-solicits, narrow it to active solicitation, not passive service, public relationships, personal contacts, or customers who approach you first. For confidentiality, protect trade secrets, source code, pricing files, and customer lists. Carve out general skills, memories, and public information. For repayment, consider a declining balance, real external course costs only, and no repayment if they fire you without cause. Then send one message: I am aligned on the role. I have 4 contract questions to resolve before signature today. That sentence matters. It keeps momentum positive. You are not rejecting the job. You are removing future landmines before acceptance. Her hiring manager responded differently than the recruiter. He said legal owned the template, but he wanted her on board badly. Good. Find the person with business pain. Recruiters move paperwork. Hiring managers field a vacancy. Use that leverage respectfully. Maya asked to delete the non-compete entirely. Legal refused. So she asked to limit it to one named product line. They accepted. The non-solicit changed from all customers she ever touched to active solicitation of assigned accounts only after departure. The confidentiality clause got a general skills carve-out. The repayment clause dropped from $14,000 to prorated external certification costs only over time. She did not win everything. She won enough. The offer still paid $118,000, and the exit tax stopped threatening her future. The big picture: EIG's tracker shows state rules are the battlefield now, with bans, thresholds, notice rules, and exceptions varying widely. That means your coworker's answer may be useless. Same company, different state, different salary, different enforceability. Check your specific facts. Consider talking to an employment attorney when the offer is senior, sales-heavy, equity-heavy, commission-based, or tied to expensive training debt. If you cannot afford counsel, still ask plain questions in writing. Paper trails beat hallway reassurance when memories get convenient. Also watch choice of law language. It may point to another state's rules. That tiny paragraph can move the entire fight. Watch and mention assignment clauses too. If you build side projects, ask whether off-hours work using your equipment stays fully yours. Deet. Build your personal escape test. Imagine resigning 12 months from now. What job could you take without paying, apologizing, or hiding? If the answer is unclear, the contract is not ready. Clarity is not a bonus. It is part of the offer. Here is your 5-minute review sequence. Search terms, map restrictions, price repayment, check state law, ask for narrower language before signing. And yes, if this saves you one ugly clause, hit like or subscribe. Keep the cheat codes closed before the paperwork gets weird. Do not negotiate every comma. Negotiate the clauses that block your next job, tax your exit, or claim your relationships. A $10,000 raise may not be worth a restriction that blocks a $40,000 jump 18 months later. Run the future math. Maya started the new job with cleaner terms. 6 months later, a former customer asked to follow her. She knew the boundary. She did not guess. She checked the negotiated language, routed it properly, and kept the relationship without triggering the trap. That is the cheat code. The best time to negotiate mobility is before they know you are willing to say yes. Headlines do not free you. Clean contracts do. Read the attachments, ask the questions, and make the exit cost visible. Before you sign the next offer, protect the job after this job. That is where the real salary jump usually lives.